The Isaiah Factor Uncensored starts right now.
Welcome and thank you for joining us here on The Factor Uncensored. An update tonight. NFL Hall of Famer Shannon Sharpe will not return to ESPN after settling a sexual assault lawsuit. He settled the $50 million lawsuit a few weeks ago. Sharpe was accused of raping a woman on 2 different occasions. However, he's denying the claims. Now, Sharpe was last seen on ESPN back in April, and at the time he said he would be back on air. No terms of the settlement have been disclosed, which is typical. What does this mean for the football legend? Is his brand destroyed? Joining us on The Factor Uncensored, we have with us Bevan Biggers, principal of B&B Hospitality, sports fan Vance Lawrence, and sports journalist Siobhan Herndon, and Factor digital producer Ajibola Ruderan. Glad to have you all on The Factor Uncensored. Siobhan, first of all, your thoughts about this. This is a major decision by ESPN. He was a name on the network.
Yeah, definitely a name. Shannon, I really hate this for him, you know, but with ESPN, it's all about the brand. It's all about the perception. You know, they took him off air back in April, and they did their due diligence. And so today they made the announcement, and yeah, I hate this for him, but I can see this, and, you know, with someone within that magnitude, with that name, you have to watch the company you keep. You have to watch your every move. So I'm not surprised by the decision from ESPN. I really do hate this for him.
All right, Bevan, your thoughts about this?
I mean, he's not going to lose a fan base because they'll just say, oh, they're just trying to hurt a black man, and he was going to buy CNN. You can't be walking around with that much power with no integrity. It's going to catch up to you eventually. So I don't feel bad for him at all. I think that more men out here need to, have some discipline when it comes to sex. So, yeah.
She said it.
And Aji, your thoughts, and is that the sentiment we're seeing online where you work at Fox 26?
Well, you know, when you look online, when you ask the question, like, is his brand going to be destroyed? It's like on 2 different levels. Like, is he going to still have his show on YouTube? Is he going to still have his podcast? Yes. But when people think of Shannon Sharpe, yeah, they might think of the podcast first, but they're going to also remember, you know, all of the things that happened with this case, because you remember the case was pretty salacious. I mean, he talked about possible sex tapes. There were very lewd messages that were put out. So, you know, a lot of people, you know, he's a freaky uncle. Like, that's what they're looking at him at online. That's what they're saying. So, I mean, I think it's one of those things where he's probably going to be okay financially. He's probably going to be okay in terms of his own shows and his own podcast, but in terms of the way the public perceives him, he can't control that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And Vance, your thoughts about the podcast. Do you think the podcast will continue to flourish, or will it take a hit as well?
I think the fact that he started 2 podcasts was probably the smartest thing he ever did for his career, because he actually has something he could fall back on. So far, he's lost 3 linear television jobs, first one being at CBS, and then FS1, and then ESPN. But with ESPN, it felt like it was like self-inflicted, you know. Mm-hmm. So the fact that he was able to start his own businesses with these, podcasts, he has something he can fall back on. So he was looking to do that, but he's going to need to depend on that at this point.
And Siobhan, do you think the sponsors and many of the advertisers on the podcast will stay around if certain people or individuals out there put pressure on them?
Yeah, I think that he'll still get some type of backing, but it won't be to the magnitude that he has right now. Mm-hmm. ESPN is laying the footprint, the blueprint to back out or push away from him. And so I think you're going to see some sponsors to kind of fall in line with ESPN, because that is the Mecca, that is Disney, that is, you know, the headquarters. They are ESPN. And so when you see a major company back away from a name like Shannon Sharpe, you'll start to see others to follow.
And Bevan, you mentioned that there's a lesson to learn from this, according to you.
Yeah.
And what would that lesson be?
You know, when you walk around and you lack sexual discipline, you pretty much give your power away to anybody that you're being weird with. Right? If you're married and you're cheating on your wife, you're now giving the power to the side piece, or you're always constantly giving the power to somebody, and they know how powerful you are. So they are going to be looking at you and looking for a way to mess that up for you. But yeah, I mean, boo-hoo to him.
All right, Aji, what are people saying from that aspect on social media and on the web?
I mean, again, like I said earlier, it's kind of like, it's something that I feel like to a degree, is going to tarnish his reputation. Like, even when we talked about ESPN being a Disney company and they separating themselves, if you look at his podcast, the type of sponsors he had on there was very much far from that type of stuff. I mean, he had pills for ED and alcohol and stuff like that. So in that case, yes, he still probably will be able to get those type of sponsors and stuff like that. But when it comes to being having a chance of being like a family man, or like have that representation of being like a wholesome person, which I think he had to a degree, it's not going to be the same.
Well,
Go
he
ahead.
kind of lost that on Instagram when he had that live. That's when he started to lose me, because how do you, at that degree, do you get on live by accident and you're messing with somebody? How do you even do that?
Do you think that was a publicity stunt or just foolish?
You don't need a publicity stunt. You're already famous and people already love you. Why would you do that?
Well, what do you think happened there? Just a dumb mistake?
I mean, he is old, so maybe he just.
And you got to think
Isaiah,
about
you
this.
went live on accident before?
I mean, I've never been live on accident, not with nothing like that.
And you got to think about this, Isaiah. After Fox Sports 1, there was some, like, do we hire him? Do we not hire him? So there were a lot of people at ESPN who kind of put their name behind him in order for him to get hired, because after Fox Sports 1, he should have been done then, but some people put their name on the line, and that's how he was able to come to ESPN. So after this, it's kind of like CBS, Fox Sports Network, now ESPN. I don't think there are any networks left for him to go to.
But he's still saying that I don't understand. Maybe I don't understand law. But why would you settle if you didn't do it?
Right. Right.
I don't really
He
understand
probably
law.
wanted to get it over with. That's my guess. But at the same time,
And attorneys have told their clients, in order to make this go away, whether you did it or not, and get rid of all the negative publicity and move on, settle it.
Ooh,
If you have
It
it.
already was getting pretty like nasty out there with the amount of information, and he talked about possible it was a lot of stuff that probably was going to come out if this went to litigation or something. So I mean, probably
$50 million is a lot.
And there are
That's a
always
lot.
prosecutors
I know that's right, Queen.
listening, waiting to jump in as well. Thank you guys for joining us here on The Factor Uncensored.